Hello everybody, my name is Dragon. Welcome back my channel Health Fitness 1047. Here is the episode new. Follow me.
After the global success of the first season, Squid Game Season 2 was born with skepticism. Can the sequel recreate the intense emotions of Season 1? However, Season 2 brought a very different story, focusing on the transformation of the main character, Ji-hun, who is no longer a desperate gamer, but a person who returns to the game with the goal of destroying the system from within. A new highlight in this season is the return of the frontman, the former winner and game operator in Season 1 who now becomes a player. His participation is to control Ji-hun, the system challenger, intelligent and unpredictable. Instead of just observing, the frontman blends in to manipulate, gradually gaining Ji-hun's trust before turning his back on him. Season 2 also introduces a new rule. After each round, players get to vote to continue or stop. After the third round, a tie vote creates tension. The night before the decisive vote, mutual massacres between the X and O factions break out, not in the official game, but in special games organized by the secret guards to encourage violence in exchange for rewards. Ji-hun is no longer a survivor but a revolutionary. Unlike Part 1 where he was a puppet in the midst of despair, Part 2 establishes Ji-hun as a warrior who returns to hell with a clear purpose, to overthrow the system. His decision to return is not for money, but for justice, putting him in direct confrontation with the organizers. This completely changes the storyline, turning Squid Game from a series of survival games into a battle of wits, where every action has profound political, moral and social implications. The frontman, the anti-hero in the dark. The frontman's participation in the game is more strategic than emotional. He understands that Ji-hun is dangerous because he has won before and knows the rules of the game. Becoming a player is his way of nipping off resistance in the bud. But that also turns him into a tragic figure, from a winner to a guardian of the system. Then forced by the system to play again, a never-ending cycle of violence. The new rules of the game, reflecting the division of society. Voting after each round is not only a new element in the rules, but also a clear metaphor for a deceitful democracy. Players are given the right to choose, but every choice leads to massacre. X and O represent two streams of thought, resistance and compliance. The battle between the two groups is not just about survival, but about class struggle, where those at the bottom of society are incited to kill each other for a few blood coins, while the organizers sit back and bet. 1. Squid Game Season 2 from survival thriller to political metaphor. If the first season was a punch to the face of capitalist society, Season 2 is a deeper look at the mechanism of protecting power and human degeneration when pushed into the vortex of choose to kill or be killed. The fact that games gradually turn into an ecosystem that encourages self-destruction perfectly reflects extreme capitalism, where people are turned into tools, not because they are forced, but because they are lured by rewards. 2. Ji-hun's psychology, from helplessness to awakening. A valuable point in Season 2 is the way the film handles Ji-hun's psychology. No longer a lone man, he becomes a leader, a symbol of awakening. Instead of being pushed away by external forces, he chooses to rush into danger, which highlights the theme of free choice in a system where every choice leads to destruction. It's the paradox of freedom in an inhumane regime. Squid Game 2 paves the way for a revolutionary Season 3. With the way Season 2 ended, Ji-hun leading the rebellion, the frontman no longer in full control, and the system starting to crack, Season 3 could become a true revolution in the Squid Game universe. Instead of just survival matches, the story could shift to a war between the organization and the awakened people, a kind of people's war in the death game setting. Squid Game Season 2 is no longer a copy of the first season. It boldly explores psychological and social depth, overturning all the standards of survival games. By making the protagonist a rebel and turning the game into a symbol of class struggle, Season 2 not only stirred controversy, but also laid the foundation for an explosive Season 3 where all the pieces start moving, and the rules of the game can be broken from within.